Welcome to Career Fair Prep, navigating a virtual fair. This is Glenda Darrell in the Career Development Center, and we're going to talk about preparing you for your next career fair. I know there's some of you who probably have not been to a career fair before, so it's good to first understand what is a career fair and what it is not. A career fair is a place where you will meet employers who want to hire NC State students. Also, a career fair is a place where you will have one-on-one conversations with employers. This is the case whether it's an in-person career fair or the virtual career fair that you will experience this year. A career fair, whether in person or virtual, is a great place to explore opportunities with employers and gain career knowledge and learn about positions and fields that you may not have even thought of before. Also, a career fair is a place to practice your networking skills. And we will talk about that as part of our career fair prep. What is a career fair not? A career fair is not a place to submit applications. Or is it an interview? A career fair is where you have brief, informal conversations with employers. It's a time that you make your first impression. Career fair is also not a place just to stop by and check out, although you can do that, and I especially encourage that for freshmen. But a career fair, to be meaningful and beneficial to you, requires preparation and research before the fair. Also, a career fair is one component of your job search. It is not a strategy with immediate results. Although sometimes you will hear of students who get an internship or a full-time job as a result of their meeting with an employer during a career fair. So now we know what a career fair is and what it is not. How do you prepare? And how do you prepare for a virtual career fair? All the steps that you take to prepare for an in-person career fair, you will take to prepare for a virtual career fair. And here you see 3 simple steps to get you started. For a virtual career fair, an additional step is that you need to engage with the Career Fair Plus platform. You see here, step 1 is to view a step-by-step instructions. You can do that by clicking here, downloading the Career Fair Plus app, and as for any career fair, one of your first steps is to finalize your resume. So how do you prepare? Well, in thinking about going to a career fair, we need to clarify our goals. As a freshman, for example, your goal may be to build a network and gain career knowledge about the field that you are considering going into and thinking about majoring in. For a senior, the career fair may have completely different goals, as in to build their network, but also to interact with potential employers with their sights on building internal relationships within companies, with their sights set on full-time employment after graduation. So determining and setting new goals. And how do you do that? You do that by research. Research, research, research. It is the core of your job search. You see here a listing of several resources that you can engage with in order to learn about the employers who are coming to a career fair. I think most of these are familiar to you. Going Global can be accessed through EPAC, and Going Global is a great resource that's provided to you through EPAC and can provide international students with information about employers who have petitioned for H-1B visas in the past. All of you can access Business Source Complete and PrivCo on the library database site. These resources provide you with vast information about companies. And so gather your research and create your target list of employers. And in rank order, and I'll explain that a little later. But knowing about an employer, what they do, and determining why they interest you. So virtual career fair, don't forget, have that resume reviewed by your career counselor, set up an appointment through EPAC, and have that resume finalized before the career fair. In Career Fair Plus, you will build a profile and you will upload your resume to your profile. You will review the companies, as I mentioned before, and you will schedule your appointments. As you went through the step-by-step instructions that I referenced earlier, you learned how to schedule appointments. When the scheduling of appointments comes open, don't delay your scheduling because they are scheduled on a first-come, first-served basis. And also, we talked about networking earlier. So we need to be prepared with our elevator pitch. You think, what is an elevator pitch? Well, an elevator pitch is your introduction. It's when you introduce yourself in these informal conversations with the employers. You want to make sure that it's brief and to the point, telling the employer a little bit about yourself and what makes you unique. What sets you apart from the next candidate they may talk to? I highly recommend that before the career fair that you prepare your elevator pitch and practice it. You can come to a career fair, a career counseling appointment and practice it with your career counselor. You can record it and listen to it yourself, but practice, practice, practice. And here is the structure for your elevator pitch. As I said, it is brief, but it is to the point. You want to make sure that they know what you're interested in. You want to make sure they know that you've done your research so you know maybe what position they're hiring for or where they have locations that you may have an interest in working. And then create your elevator pitch. You see here a sample elevator pitch, as well as a link to a worksheet where you can walk through preparing that elevator pitch. As I said, you can practice your elevator pitch by recording it or practicing it with your career counseling coach. Now we want to talk about what happens as the fair approaches. The day before, you want to be sure to log into the Career Fair Plus account and review your appointment schedule so that you be sure that you're going to show up at the scheduled times. When you're checking your schedule, note the interaction type for each appointment. Also, most importantly, for a virtual career fair, check your technology and do this the day before so that you are not impacted the day of the career fair. Also, even in a virtual career fair, we need to prep our wardrobe. So prep your wardrobe of what you're going to wear for the career fair and check the video view. How does your presentation come across on the camera? And also for a virtual career fair, we need to make sure we are in a quiet place. So make arrangements to be in a quiet place, whether that's in your apartment, in your dorm room, or having to reserve a space on campus. And also review that elevator pitch and introduction and prepare your questions. Make sure that from your research that you have done about a company and the position that they may be offering, that you have developed questions that will show that you are informed and enthusiastic about talking with them. As I said, our professional attire is still important at a virtual career fair, because even though it's virtual, it is still your first impression. So now it's the day of the career fair. Make sure you're in that quiet place, log into Career Fair Plus, and access your appointment schedule. When you access the appointment on the Career Fair Plus app, you will click or knock, and the employer will let you in when they are ready. When you knock, the employer may let you right in, and you will begin that informal conversation with that employer. Or if the employer may be running a few moments late or running over with the previous candidate, you may knock and have to wait a few moments. They'll put you on hold and let you in when they're ready. As I mentioned in part 1, that ranking of your employers and creating that target list, practice your elevator pitch and your introduction with companies that are ranking low on that target list. Maybe schedule appointments with several of those low-ranking employers first so that you can get warmed up, and then you will be ready to go and talk to those companies that are ranking high on your target list. As I mentioned, asking your questions will show that you are interested and that you are enthusiastic, that you have come prepared to talk with this employer. And as in an in-person career fair, in a virtual career fair, take notes. Just as you would when you would be standing face-to-face with someone, taking notes so that you will remember and be able to use the points from that conversation in your follow-up. So what do you ask an employer? Here is a list of several questions that you can ask an employer. These are some basic questions that will gain you knowledge about the actual company, the position, and the person you are personally talking to, wanting to know what they enjoy most about working at this company. For a general rule, it is good not to ask questions that you can easily access on the company's website. Do your research so your questions can be more insightful and informed, showing that employer that you've done your research and that you know what you are talking about. As I said, these are brief, informal conversations. And so how do we wrap these up? We bring the conversation to closure by thanking the employer for their time, asking always about the next steps in the process. You want to understand before you leave that employer's presence, what is their recruiting process like? What are the next steps that they intend to take in their recruiting for the position that you are talking to them about? Express your enthusiasm and be sure to ask for their name and email, because we'll need that when we do our follow-up. So after the fair, within 24 hours, I recommend sending your thank you note email. Be sure to attach your resume to the email, expressing your interest, maybe mentioning a conversation point that you may have made in the meeting at the career fair, updating them on the status of your application, For example, the employer may have told you at the career fair to go to their website and apply online. And so I would recommend doing that. And then in your thank you email, you can tell them that you have done that and that you have now officially applied for the position. And I would still attach my resume to that thank you email. Also, connecting with the person that you met on LinkedIn. Some employers, when they meet you, they will tell you, connect with me on LinkedIn. But you can research them on LinkedIn and could send them a connection request. And as I said, you needed their name and email for the follow-up. Also, because their contact information will be helpful to you going forward in your job search. For example, when you write that cover letter for your application, you can mention that you met this person at the career fair and what you may have learned from them. You also can follow up on your application by contacting the person that you met at the career fair. And most importantly, you can mention their name and the conversations that you had at the career fair during your interview, and solidifying your interest and enthusiasm for this position. As we wrap up career fair prep, I wish you well as you embark on navigating a virtual fair. Thank you.